Peggy 16.
Intruder alert. Intruder alert. Intruder alert.
Go, go, go! Boy, that pump!
Suspect on move.
Incoming!
Alpha team advance.
On the ground, now! Fire!
Hello and welcome to inFAMOUS Second Son Live, presented by PlayStation UK, super powered by IGN UK, and leveled up by Game. She's Holly Bennett.
And he's Dan Marr, and we're at our community event celebrating Sucker Punch's PlayStation exclusive, inFAMOUS Second Son. Now, we've got over 300 people coming to our super secret location in London, and we know there are inFAMOUS fans all over the world that could fill this place out 10,000 times over. But instead of doing what Dan suggested, which is ramming you all in one room, we've decided to live stream the whole thing so that you guys can enjoy everything we have to offer from the comfort of your home.
Yeah, it's a much more sensible solution, that, isn't it? Anyway, we have an hour at least of exciting inFAMOUS Second Son related activity to bring you tonight, including a brand new section of gameplay that Sucker Punch brought all the way over from Seattle for this exclusive event.
Yes, our friend Keza McDonald will be leading the live Q&A with Nate Fox and Ken Scram from the wonderful Sucker Punch. If that's not enough, Delson Rose actor, the delicious Troy Baker.
Oh, he's dreamy.
We'll also be taking your questions, and we do mean your questions. Everything in tonight's Q&A is either coming from the show floor here or from you guys at home.
Yeah, if you'd like to have the chance to have your questions hurled at the Sucker Punch guys like a neon blast of knowledge gathering, simply tweet them at PlayStation UK, at IGN UK, or at Game Digital, making sure to include the hashtag Second Son Live. Now, unfortunately, if you are viewing this overseas, this competition is only available to residents of the UK. But if you are lucky enough to live in Great Britain, then check out IGN for the full terms and conditions.
If that's not enough, you guys can also head to game.co.uk/infamous for your chance to win one of their exclusive collector's editions.
Right, enough talk. Let's take a look at Delson in action.
Touch me, I'm sick. Touch me, I'm sick.
Alright guys, well since you're not here, I thought I may as well give you a little tour of the venue because it's looking pretty amazing. This graffiti was actually done this morning, so if you come this way, we're going to take a look at our amazing inFAMOUS van. This has been open most of the day, and this is where all the interviews have been taking place with IGN and Game. Everyone's been speaking to people like Troy in that van. We're feeding everybody tonight with our vending machines. It's a self-service kind of evening, so you just can't go in and take what you want. Now, if you come this way, we have got PlayStation 4 after PlayStation 4 you can get hands-on with the game. It is a brand new demo, the first time anyone in the UK has got their hands-on with this build. Come up the stairs, I'm going to go chat to a few people who are already playing. We have some super fans in place, and they're going to tell us what they've been thinking of inFAMOUS so far. Hey guys!
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. Right, so far, what do you think of inFAMOUS Second Son?
So you know what, I actually played all the previous inFAMOUS games and I've adored them, even Festival of Blood, I may even go that far. And I just love Delson's character because obviously he can absorb power, so at the moment I've been playing with the smoke, which so far is one of my favourite abilities of it. Neon, yeah, it's great, but for some reason the smoke works really well, and I don't know, I'm just getting into it. I love how you've still got all those inFAMOUS elements of, you can free roam, you've got the ability of horizontal and vertical gameplay. You know, the DPU obviously been causing a bit of trouble for me, but that's expected. But no, I generally love it. I mean, James, I don't know what you think at all. It's
I know so far, before you speak up,
Yeah.
you're coming from my job with the way you just spoke about that. That's rather impressive, sir. Anyway, what do you think so far?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Touchscreen features really, really cool with a control pad, the way you absorb your abilities and things like that. Karma Bomb's absolutely amazing, great addition to the game as well. So yeah, totally amazing overall. So yeah, really impressive.
You guys are brilliant at this. You guys are really fantastic. But I am going to sneak past you now. I'm going to chat to some others. So
Yeah,
I'm going to let you keep on playing.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, I'm going to chat to you guys next. Right, so you guys have been playing Infamous since you got here. So far, PlayStation 4, Infamous Second Son, what do you think?
It's totally amazing. I've been playing with the neon power. I'm loving the speed, loving the shooting. Just the transitions are so smooth, and it's just so lovely to play.
So have you got a PlayStation 4 yet?
Hell yes, have got on, yeah, it's amazing, yeah, and I can't wait for this. I mean, look at this, graphically amazing, played Infamous 1 and 2, love them, but the way you move around, the parkour elements of this are so much smoother, so getting around looks brilliant, and the fact that you can like steal abilities and stuff, it's a big step up, loving it, can't wait.
Either of you played previous Infamous games?
Yeah, played both the previous Infamous games. Absolutely loved them, and this one's just a tribute to the heritage of the game.
Amazing. Guys, thank you so much. I'm going to leave you alone to play, and then you can carry on raiding the snap machines and the free bar. So I'll leave that to you. You guys come with me. We're moving this way. We've got a bar over here, which is serving Infamous-inspired cocktails all evening for everyone who's feeling a little bit thirsty. And follow me here. Still more screens, more people still playing. And finally, we make it to our stage. The Q&A is coming up later, but for now, why don't you find out what Sucker Punch had to say at our friends at IGN.
When it comes to conduits, it's my call. Not yours, not ours, mine.
Oh, really? So Mr. Freewheeling Badass finally wants to take on some responsibility. And for what, huh? A bioterrorist with a body count?
I love you, Reg. Don't make me break that handsome nose of yours.
When building Delsin, I took a lot of inspiration from watching players in focus tests on Infamous 1 and 2. These people would go in, they'd pick up the controller, and they were just anarchists, man. I mean, they would blow things. They would pick up cars with people in them and throw them in the river.
You guys are everywhere.
They had so much fun with their powers, lighting gas stations on fire, and they would cackle at the screen. They would also do nice things too, like heal people for 15 minutes on the street. They would do that. And I thought, oh, this new hero really needs to delight in having his powers in the same way that I see players do. So that way there's no line between what you feel when you're playing and what the character is kind of saying or acting like in the game world.
It should be my responsibility. Yeah, because responsibility is not exactly something you excel at.
I got this.
Every character, every story has their own challenges. There's something that's specifically unique, and one thing that may be easy in one role is significantly harder in another. And I love that moxie, I love that dance that brings.
When we were casting for Delsin, saw a lot of very good actors, and Troy walked in, and he's a cool dude, he's a good actor, but what really sold me was he had this incredible chemistry with the other actor we had in for Reggie. It's like they had this relationship, this kind of brotherhood, and it was totally apparent from the first time they read together. And I learned after the audition that in real life, Troy and the guy who plays Reggie, Travis, are best friends. And they actually do kind of love each other. Like they have this shorthand way of screwing with each other that shows up in the game. You buy that they're brothers because they really kind of are.
You all right, brother? What happened? Oh, you did good. You did good, buddy. Come on, get up. Get up. Oh. Hey, you did good.
Travis Willingham, who plays Reggie, he was cast first. And for anybody that knows, Travis and I, that's my boy. We're best buds. And so I really wanted the chance for us to work together because we work so well together. Just because we have that innate kind of almost psychic connection when we act. We know how to read it off of each other so well. So to find a story and two characters that are brothers, that are so fraternal, and that being such a cornerstone of the story, that was something that I really selfishly wanted, because I knew that we could take those roles and we could rock it. We could really bring something unique and something that felt grounded and real.
You seem to be getting the hang of your new symptoms.
Right? And of course, the only downside being that, nope, can't think of anything. This is pretty freaking awesome.
Hello, well, I'm with a man who should hopefully need no introduction. It's Delsin Rowe himself, Troy Baker. Troy, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure. You kidding? We're having a blast.
Yeah, how are you enjoying this event? Kind of the recreation of Seattle in the middle of London.
Well, it's great. We've been here all day, and you know, the morning was more for just for media, and now we've got the fans that are packing in, getting their first look, actually hands-on for Second Son, so we're super excited.
Good stuff. Now, here's a question I bet you've never been asked before. Tell us a little about Delsin, the character.
What can we say about Delsin? Well, Delsin's 24 years old, and kind of like what's great about the DNA of an infamous game is that you've got an ordinary man in extraordinary circumstances. So he's a 24-year-old Native American, lives right outside of Seattle. This tragedy happens to him, and he finds that he is in these extraordinary circumstances where he learns he is a conduit. He's this person who has these abilities to actually drain the powers from other people who have superhero abilities. And we've seen some of those so far. They're like the smoke powers that he can shoot out of his hands. Now we got to see the neon powers, which is a great way to like explore the city of Seattle. And there's a few more in store that we haven't revealed just yet.
Cool. Now, you've portrayed a number of characters, none of whom resemble you that greatly. But in Delsin, there's a lot of your face in there. I mean, does that mean there's a bit of your personality in there as well?
I think so. We squeezed a little bit of my face in there. Yeah, it's crazy to see. I mean, we've got this new console, we've got this great technology, and the people at Sucker Punch made a great philosophical decision to really have the technology serve the performance, and we captured stuff one-to-one, meaning what we did on the stage is what you're going to see in the game. So it's my face, it's Travis Willingham who plays my brother Reggie, Laura Bailey who plays Fetch. I mean, it's our face, it's our performance, it's our voice all at the same time. And it really gives a very realistic performance. And I think, yeah, we made a really strong, concerted effort to make sure that we were giving ourselves into the characters. So there's a lot of me that's in Delsin, or there's a lot of Delsin that's in me, I don't know.
Now, I mean, you obviously just come off the back of one of the most acclaimed performances in gaming history, of course, Joel, in The Last of Us. How did this role compare in terms of the kind of the physical and emotional demands of the performance?
You know, obviously it's a much, this is more of a comic book approach. You know, it's a superhero story, whereas, you know, something like The Last of Us, which is an incredibly rich, character-driven narrative story, and an incredible game experience, too. One of the things that I love about that game so much is how immersive that gameplay is. You're scared constantly. And this is something that's different, but at the same time, what I love is that it seems like Sony, kind of across the board, has really embraced character-driven, narrative-driven stories and making a really good immersive game experience for the player. And this is very much in the same way. It's something that you really, it's a hero that you can get behind, it's a story that you can believe in, and a real city that you can explore.
So, I mean, were you always in contention for the role of Delsin? Did you have to audition for this, or did Sucker Punch kind of go, like, we want Troy?
Oh, no, I had to audition just like any other schmuck. And what's so crazy is that Travis Willingham, who plays my brother Reggie, was cast first, and so that made me want it even more. But Sucker Punch was really great. What they saw in me and in Travis and Laura and the other actors is people that they could partner with in this creative process, because it was very much of a collaborative thing. That's the culture of Sucker Punch, is really creating something from within that the entire team is behind. And we spent a lot of time really understanding who these characters were and where they sat in the story, and developing those characters and the story, so that when we first set foot on that stage, we knew exactly who we were and what we needed to get.
Now, I mean, acting in video games has come under a lot of stick in the past. You seem to be part of a kind of a new school of a game actor who's really kind of making it a legitimate form now. What do you think is the secret? What do you think you kind of bring to that?
You know, I don't know if it's necessarily a secret that I have. I think that what's happening right now inside the game space with the culture is that people are craving something with substance. They want a good story. They want characters. And fortunately, we found, and a few of us have found ourselves in a position to where we love this space. We're gamers ourselves, and we believe in games as a medium for telling a narrative. And I think that all of the performances that we've seen, especially this year, not just from me, but across the board, would stand shoulder to shoulder, if not above, some that we've seen like TV or film. Because it's an immersive experience, we partner up with the player. We create these characters, we give these performances so that the stories are believable, that the characters are tangible, and then we hand that steering wheel off to them, and we let them drive for the gameplay. So it's this perfect partnership, not only with the developers as an actor, but also with the players as well.
And obviously the ubiquity of certain actors in games now is becoming such a joke that in Saints Row 4, for example, which you appeared in, Nolan North was a voice option. I mean, do you like the fact that you guys are kind of this part of this little elite, or do you really hope that more people start to embrace acting and gaming as a serious kind of art form?
Well, I have to say that Nolan was who I chose to play as the Saints Row 4 above myself. Because I thought it was absolutely brilliant, and I love that Nolan had the sense of humor about himself to do that as well. And you know, there is a lot of ubiquity within this, and you start seeing the usual suspects, the same people in the same roles. What I think that does is that forces the developers to really start creating unique characters that stand alone separately from any other role. And yeah, I do think that actors have started looking as the gaming space as a serious form of acting and more so than just, you know, grenade and get down as it was before. But I definitely think that it takes a certain skill set, and I think that it takes a certain commitment to a character and to storytelling. It's not something to be taken lightly. But yeah, I think that it's only going to evolve. And my goal as an actor, I want to disappear behind that character. You know, I don't want Troy to be out in front. I want Delson to be out in front, because at the end of the day, it's the same thing. That player also has to inhabit that role.
Great. Well, I better leave it there because we've got the viewers sending in questions that you're going to be answering on the stage later. Absolutely. So I don't want to be treading on their toes. So we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for talking to me. Talking of which, Holly's just over there to give you more information about submitting your questions for later today.
Yeah, there's loads of people around me who've been waiting desperately for Dan to finish so they can grab Troy for autographs. But you guys are going to come with me. Now, in about 20 minutes, we're going to be going to IGN's Heather McDonald for the amazing live Q&A and get your questions in. You can tweet them too at PlayStation UK, at Game Digital, or at the lovely IGN UK. And don't forget to use the hashtag infamous seconds. And I'm sorry, sir. Looks like it's quite deep at the bar, so I'm probably not getting a drink right now. But what I queue, you guys can watch the latest video from IGN, who spoke to Sucker Punch today, to give you some inspirations for questions you can tweet.
So, ready to storm the castle?
I say we wait them out. Make them come to us.
Oh, good. Sit and wait. My favorite strategy.
Morality, being good or being a villain in Second Son, changes almost everything. Changes Delson's powers, changes the way it looks, changes the way people in the city act towards you. You get different missions, and of course it changes not only Delson's story, but also the story of characters you meet along the way. You make choices and you can't unmake them. Characters are altered, and they are that way for the rest of the game. You really have not played the entire game unless you play it at least twice. You can start the game as a bad guy, like most people do. You know, they just want to get in and mess things up. And then they grow a conscience and want to be a hero. You can flip-flop whenever you feel like it.
I literally have 2 games in that box that I can play one way this way, or one way this way, and in some ways get 2 completely different outcomes. And there's not a lot of titles that give you that kind of, that freedom.
If you do flip-flop halfway through the game, you'll miss out on a lot of content. But that's kind of the point, you know? We can't give you a choice that has no kind of sense of loss to it. That's what makes it an interesting choice.
One of the things that I've always loved about an Infamous game is that you have these distinct choices that allow you to decide which path you want to go. And we wanted to work very hard from the very beginning to establish what that blue and what that red meant, what that good and what that evil meant. And it's not always, you know, this halo-wearing saint or, you know, horn-wearing devil. There's this great gray line in the middle that we get to redefine what good and evil means, and sometimes that means being selfish or being selfless.
Well, if you choose to be a villain, your attacks become more kind of just devastating and sloppy in their damage. You don't care who you hurt. And if you're good, your attacks become much more precise. The mission content you do is more about healing the city and healing some of the characters you meet. And if you're a bad person, it's kind of the other way around.
Right, well, this is definitely my favourite part of the evening because we get to relax and let Keza do all the hard work.
Yes, Keza is going to take over and take you through a 15-minute gameplay demo with the Sucker Punch team. So if you're looking forward to seeing Seattle looking smoky and lit up by neon lights, I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, if, however, you are expecting to see a plucky little minifigure teaming up with Batman to be an unlikely world-saving hero, then unfortunately you'd confuse Infamous Second Son with a Lego movie. It's easily done. It's easily done.
It's really not easily done. It's quite different. Anyway, before we do hand over to Keza, we're going to have a new trailer for you that's going to show you some of Delson's amazing superpowers.
Woo.
Peggy 16.
You have any idea how embarrassing it is for me to keep arresting my own brother over and over again?
Maybe you should stop arresting your brother over and over and over again.
You think this is a joke?
No, I don't.
Is this how you want to leave your mark on the world, huh? Now look, for all we know, we may be able to pass you through their security, because you're not a normal bioterrorist. You seem to be getting the hang of your new symptoms,
right? Of course, the only downside being that, nope, can't think of anything. This is pretty freaking awesome.
All right, I got this whole thing figured out. We hit the town, maybe swing by the Space Needle, always wanted to see it, and then we're back home to save some lives.
You do realize when we hit the town, there's a fair chance the town's gonna, hit back?
Okay, everybody, hello, and welcome to tonight's event to show off Infamous Second Son. Hello. Okay. So, I'm here with the dudes from Sucker Punch, Nate and Ken, and they have very kindly agreed to show off 15 entire minutes of the game. I'm going to shut up and just let it talk for himself. These guys are going to talk you through it, so take it away.
All right. We're very happy to finally be able to share the game. We've finished the game. Yes! Buy that man a free drink. Or at least hoist him up on your shoulder. That's what you do at football games. Oh, man. I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me. That is bad karma. All right. So we're going to show you some gameplay. We're going to jump ahead to where Delson, our hero, has met the lovely Fetch. Can we get some audio?
You did good. You did good, buddy. Come on. Get up. Get up. Oh. Hey, you did good.
Can you turn off the stage lights?
Like this. Somewhere where Augustine won't find her, and she won't be hurting anybody else.
Hey, no. She's just killing drug dealers, man.
Killing. Delson. Murdering drug dealers.
What do you think I'm doing to the DUP?
What you have to save the Akomish back home.
She stays free.
No. Dude, no way. Look, just because you have the same affliction, not gift, affliction, doesn't mean that we're gonna pick up every little piece of trash we find. Look, I'm never going to abandon you, all right? Not ever. This one goes in a cage. Hey!
Okay, so Infamous games who try and offer you choices and make big consequences. So at this point in the game, you have the option. You can either choose to redeem Fetch, try and channel her rage to kind of be a better conduit, to show humans that they're not that scary. Or you could choose to corrupt her, to make all of that anger and turn it into somebody who's willing to just lash out and beat people down who talk smack about any conduit. So what do you want to do? Do you want to do the nice thing? Yes. The soccer hooligans make me think no. Oh, did I say soccer again? Oh. Do you want a corruptor? Yes. You sound like a monster truck rally, and I love that. All right, let's do it.
Here comes the conduits. It's my call. Not yours, not ours, mine.
Oh, really? So Mr. Freewheeling Badass finally wants to take on some responsibility. And for what, huh? A bioterrorist with a body count?
I love you, Reg. Don't make me break that handsome nose of yours.
Why? When she kills someone's father tomorrow, or mother the day after that, you're the one that allowed that to happen.
Now calm down.
Yeah. Let's talk.
All right. I don't know if you guys have seen him yet, but we got Troy Baker in the house, who plays Delson. Did you see that weird-ass thing Delson does with his nose? That's Troy.
What's up?
Looks like the haters are getting ready for their big parade. You in?
Oh, I'm in. I'm a total hater.
All right, so this mission takes place a little over a third into the game. It's exclusively if you're playing as a evil character. I'm looking right at you. And Delson's convinced Fetch that she should start wailing on these activists that use her as a poster child for why conduits, people with powers, should be locked up. So you can see, man, she's not a kind of a weak character. She gets in there and mixes it up with you.
Becoming honorary members of the Haters Club.
Yeah. What did they say? The friend of my enemy has bad taste in friends?
This makes it more convenient for us when they're...
Now, the DUP have joined in with the activists. As you can see, we really tried to make hand-to-hand combat in Second Son a lot easier to pull off combos and be very gratifying. Now, sometimes when you get people wounded, you have a choice. You can either execute them or take them down alive. We always try and embed that into gameplay, that sort of good or evil element. Objects in the world like this DUP truck, you can destroy, you can weaponize the environment and use it to just hurt enemies as well.
That was fun. God, I just want to light up that Peter guy's innards. Maybe that'll make him shut up.
Well, he's bound to be at one of these little get-togethers. Let's just keep crashing until we find the right one.
Now, if you want to switch powers, you just need to find a source in the world. A smokestack will let Delson switch to smoke, which is great for close quarter combat. And any neon sign in the world, he can drain and then switch over to neon. Those are the two powers we've talked about so far. There are more in the game, but we don't want to tell you about them because we want you to have the surprise and delight of finding them for yourself. The powers are the most fun aspect of the game, and we want to, give you that experience of seeing it for the first time with the controller in your hands. Can you go to the gum wall? How many of you have ever been to Seattle? Absolutely no one. You bastards. It's a lovely city. Oh, that one? Have you been to the gum wall? The gum wall is an absolutely disgusting landmark in my beautiful hometown in Seattle. It is where tourists go when they wait in line for the theater and they put gum on a brick wall and it's now layered many deep. We put it in the game to give it that local flavor. We tried hard to make the Seattle as true to life disgusting as possible so that you believed in the city. And if you believed in the city, you would believe in Delson's powers.
That is why the only way to save our future is to make drugs a thing of the past. Otherwise,
Now, the DUP, they've set up these checkpoints all around town. They've sort of turned the city into like an airport. They're looking for anyone with these abilities, and they're pretty much oppressing the population. As Delson You represent freedom. You're going to push these people out and take back people's liberties. And when you destroy their stuff, it's gone for good. You can even make your own power sources by trashing their equipment.
Short and sweet.
Oh, you see that guy with the red bubble on his head? That means you can obliterate him. Hey, Ken, can you go up top? So it's an infamous game. You can go where you want. With Delson's powers, it's very easy to jump from rooftop to rooftop across streets. And anything you see on the horizon, you can get to it. You can climb on top of it. Even things that are really far away that seem like they're just sort of background art, it's real. All right, Ken, I need you to break something in a spectacular fashion. The pressure's on. All right, we've assaulted some pedestrians, and it looks like it's made him a little bit less of a popular guy. You know what? Really, you guys should be playing the game. Let's call it. Let's let people get on the kiosks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Cool. Well, I'd like to welcome Troy Baker to the stage if he's around. Troy, where are you?
I wanted to bust through that tape so bad.
Hello. Come sit down, guys. We're going to start Q&A.
That was a guy who did that.
All right, so sit.
Here we are.
So, going to be taking questions from Twitter and also from the floor. You guys get to share one microphone. I've got one all to myself, but you guys got to share.
We're going to share.
So I'll start off, I'll ask the Sucker Punch guys. So you've said before that you want people to really enjoy being evil in the game. What do you mean by that? Can you elaborate?
Go, Nate.
To me, evil means...
Really?
It means feedback on the mic. And just not caring about who you hurt and having a good time trashing the city and breaking things. I like to break things.
I don't like it when peds get in the way, so I show no mercy. So, you know, the killing spree that is in my blood comes out in me in Second Son.
All right, I've got a question for you then, Troy.
Okay.
So in the grand pantheon of game characters that you've now played, where does this fit in for you?
Is it a pantheon now? All right.
Pretty much.
We're going to Roman architecture. That's awesome. I have an Oculus and everything. It's great. First of all, I want to say to you guys, you look gorgeous. You look positively gorgeous. I'm so glad that you guys came out here tonight. You've had all the fun. You've been up on stage. You've been playing through and everything. I'm literally watching myself get pissed because I'm standing idle. It's hilarious. We're watching the gameplay down here. I got to give a shout out to my Delson cosplay guy right there. Throw your hands up. That's awesome. There we go. Every opportunity that I've been grateful and fortunate enough to have has been something that's a unique experience. This was something that was very, very special to me because Travis Willingham, who plays my brother Reggie, shout out to Travis Willingham. He and I mean, we have this brotherly relationship. He's my best friend. And the opportunity for us to be able to kind of put that relationship on display and really kind of explore what that looks like, it really helped us to find a good grounding for these characters. And Reggie was cast first, Travis was cast first, and so that made me want the role even more. Because there's something that realistically, you always want to ground yourself as an actor to these characters, and the fact that we could actually bring that relationship into these characters was something that's really unique, and you just don't get the opportunity to do that. So the fact that it was not only going to be he and I bringing kind of that experience into this story, but the fact that it was actually going to look like us was something that was even cooler. And with the advent of the new consoles, being able to have this new technology to explore really kind of opened us up and gave us a lot of liberty to explore that performance as well, because we had all the subtleties and all the nuances to really delve into and give something that was a realistic character so that you feel like you're playing a realistic character in a very realistic city.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course. It's
All
a
right.
long answer, wasn't it?
So some questions from Twitter. Firstly,
Oh God, here we go.
Tom Doyle asks.
Oh God, Tom.
He asks, Sucker Punch. How? Okay. A question I'm sure you've had many times, but how different is the actual gameplay from 1 and 2? Can you talk about the major changes?
Oh yeah. I mean, one of the big changes is that we have that facial technology, so that you can kind of see what the actor brings to the table, and you become more invested in the characters. And I mean, rendering. Like somebody earlier said, when I look at Second Son, I see puddles and particles, and I kind of agree. Like the rain of Seattle, you buy it, and Delson's powers, I think they look great. All that is because of the big jump in hardware. It's great. I mean, using the powers feels very visceral because of all of that extra oomph to the graphics.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention this. This is a big reason why gameplay has changed to Second Son as well. So you can't underestimate the power of what this has brought. The precision, okay, the dead zones all been fixed. You've seen us utilize the touchpad in our game throughout, and we haven't even talked about the share button, which is coming. You got everything going in here. And a lot of people underestimate the speaker, which will be able to give you guys good sounds coming right through that speaker. So use this.
Another question from Matt the Marvel asks, will there be other melee weapons than the chain?
What other melee weapons besides the chain?
Yes.
The melee weapon. The chain actually changes depending on what power Delson is utilizing.
Why would you want more? The chain is amazing.
The chain is amazing. I like to think of the chain as like an ice cream cone with a different flavored scoop on top. It functions a little differently.
Okay, I'm going to take some questions from the floor. Have we got a mic going around?
There he is.
Where's the mic going around? Okay, we'll take a question from this gentleman here.
Hello.
Shut up!
Question for Troy.
Yep.
Obviously, you've done a lot of voice acting and stuff before. How different was it for you to do motion capture and stuff like that, to actually act physically?
Well, I mean, it's always acting, right? And sometimes you use one tool, and sometimes you use another. I am a tool. What I loved about this is that it's just simply using your voice has its own challenges, and innately, even mechanically, it's its own thing. What I loved about this was that we really were able to immerse ourselves into these characters, and I think that comes through in the performance. And the result of that is something that you feel that Delson is a real person moving around with real movements, a real face, and that's what I love. It's something that it attracts me as an actor because it's something that I can really throw myself into and help partner up with these guys and help to create a very realistic character. So obviously physically it's a different thing because you're using your body and there's some mechanical things to get around. Like we used very super advanced cameras that captured all the facial movements while we were actually filming. So it was the body, the face, and the voice all at the same time. So as an actor, you really want to kind of get past those obstacles because if it's TV or film, the hair, the makeup, the wardrobe, the props, those all help to serve the character. And in some ways, with what we do, it actually against. So you have to overcome those obstacles because Delson is not wearing a spandex suit with shiny disco balls. So it's something you have to work across, but it forces you to really focus on the quintessential elements of what you are as an actor and what you bring to that character. Great question. Thank you.
Good
Cheers.
question. Thank you very much. Question from Twitter.
Twitter. Dear Twitter.
Describe Delson's character in 3 words.
Can we go PG?
1 word each.
Peggy 16. Badass mofo.
Okay.
Can we do that? Mofo is 1
Move
word.
on.
That'll work. Where's Bayside at? Bayside know what I'm talking about.
How about a sucker punch? What's 3 words for Delson?
On the spot, 3 words, go. Grab the mic, come on.
All right. Reckless, abandoned. Oi? What does that mean in British? I don't know. Is that like kind of punk rock? Yeah,
right.
oi.
Awesome. Let's do another question from the floor. Hands up, please.
Enjoy your power.
Very good.
All right, here we go.
All right, moving on. Lady over here. Where's the mic person? Lady over here? No, lady over here, right there. Thank you.
Hi there.
Is that you?
This is for Sucker Punch. There's the Cole's Legacy DLC that comes with the game on day 1. Could you tell us anything about it, about the Cole's Legacy DLC? Will we get to see any returning characters, or kind of what will it cover? Can you say? Or
Thanks, Nate. You know, Cole's Legacy is going to be a little bridge between Infamous 2 and Second Son. We hope you pre-order our game because that's the only way you're going to get it. So you better hurry because we hear it's running out. It's already run out in France. So please enjoy Cole's Legacy because you're going to get a little backstory. And you might even get a little visit from a friend, not Cole.
All right, another question from Twitter. Twitter. Plastic Frames asks, Sucker Punch, was Infamous always a superhero, supervillain story? And if not, when did you realize that it had evolved into that?
We've always thought about Infamous as, in its kind of core DNA, as an everyday person gets powers and decides if they want to use them to become a hero or a villain. And that's from the get word go. That's what we've thought of it as. And I think it's a really wide concept that could apply to a lot of different stories. So once we knew that, the game, we just kept going for it. We just kept going for that core idea.
Great. All right, one more from Twitter. Static Veins asks, Smoke and Neon are far from stereotypical superpowers. What made you choose these power types?
Well, we really wanted to find things that were part of the urban environment. Delson draws all of his powers from the city. He's linked to it. Also, we wanted to find powers that you probably hadn't seen before with other heroes, so you could have a fresh experience, see something new.
Okay. Let's go for one more from the floor. There we go.
Hi there. I'm a big fan of Sucker Punch game from inFAMOUS Second Son, and I like your gameplay more for the PS4 announcement last year, and it's so awesome. It was so awesome. What's the gameplay like the story mode? Is there going to be multiplayer or not?
Did you get that? I didn't get that. Sorry, can you repeat that?
I'm sorry, you kind of came in and
I
out of
said, is there going to be a gameplay multiplayer or not for in Second Son for Sucker Punch game? If the gameplay or not for multiplayer, like online?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, multiplayer, all those functions. You know, we spent 3 years on this game. We're very proud of it. And we had to focus on some certain aspects of the game. And it is very much a single-player game. It'll give you that experience so you can enjoy that game. Have fun with it.
Thank you very much.
Question from Twitter. Jeremy Faxman asks, Shamefully, I've never played an Infamous title before.
Oh, no.
Will I be able to enjoy the narrative going in blind?
Oh, my goodness, Nate.
Yes, Infamous Second Son is the perfect spot to jump into the series. You don't need to have played the first 2 games to understand what's going on and really get entrenched in the story. But if you're that guy who's played both of the earlier games, there's a lot that you will pick up on that those guys will miss out on because you'll kind of know some of the characters and the backstory. It'll be a little bit richer.
Excellent, thank you. Right, moving on back into, okay, there's some people near the back there
Testing.
who have questions. I'm disappointed that the Delson cosplayer hasn't asked a question.
Seen and not heard.
I was kind of
Okay.
curious where your influence comes from for coming up with the whole powers and infamous, because I've seen a lot of anime that's based on that, and other like animes, Japanese cartoons and stuff, and they're based on powers and individuals and being hunted down and stuff. So I'm curious where your influence comes from, coming with like people with powers and stuff like that. Can you hear me? The influence of coming up with the idea.
The core concept in our game is that people who have this gene can kind of manipulate a particular element. In Infamous 1, it was electricity. In Second Son, Delson can actually wield a number of them. But always, we try and have those elements just be part of the urban landscape. We're not making a game about sort of elven crystals. We're making a game about the world that we live in right now. And that means, things like neon signs.
Great. Got another one from the floor, please.
Hello.
Who's got the mic?
Hi. Over here. Hello.
It's up there. Oh, sorry, dude. Hello.
Hi. Question for Nate. Why can't you walk? Why do you always have to jog or run? Is that a technical thing or is that for the story?
Why can't you walk?
Why can't you walk? You go from normal to jogging to running. Is that something you thought, or is it intentional?
So actually, we have implemented walk, and I've never once seen players do it. They're always hauling ass, man. I want to get over there and crush that dude's face.
I like to be menacing,
so we do kind of have a few states that he goes through, but honestly, it's just it was an extra layer, and you really wanted to get into hauling ass as fast as possible, because the characters, you wanted to be responsive. So that's why.
I love walking menacingly when I'm evil, and instead he jogs. So you can't be menacing while jogging.
What? You can't be menacing while jogging?
It looks weird, but it's not scary.
You've never seen my father.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
The man's a monster.
That. Excellent. Okay, some more questions from the floor, please. I'll pick someone from near the back there. I don't want to physically describe people in case I accidentally offend them. Just pick somebody.
Hello?
There we go.
Over here.
Hey.
Hey, my question's for Troy. Have you heard that? I'm guessing you've heard The Last of Us has been made into a movie. And are you involved in it anyway?
I am as... I am as involved in it as you are.
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm excited that it's happening, and I trust Naughty Dog. How about that? There we go.
Good answer. Yes. Moving on. Who is next? Can you wave? Whoever's next got the mic. Hello.
Hi, quick question. Just
I thought you were gonna drop mad beats. You'd be like, "Here we're getting represented, lad." No, go ahead.
Quick question, really. Without spoiling anything, what is your guys' favorite moment from the game that you can tell us about?
Okay, thank you, Ken.
It's, well, you can probably guess it. It's a power set we can't talk about, right? There's a move in one power set that's just absolutely mind-boggling when I first saw it, and hopefully you'll experience the same thing.
Well, if I may.
There's one specific moment that's really integral to the, and then, of course, the thing. All right, and that's my favorite part of the game.
Yeah. Sorry for those technical issues.
It's a weird technical thing.
Just had a technical thing.
These stupid are trying to find it's doing it again. I thought.
All right, next question. Hand up, please.
Hi there. With Sucker Punch, you created the character of Cole, and he starred in 2 games and was obviously a very influential character. How difficult was it to start again with a new protagonist and new city all over again?
Yeah, right. So when we in writing the endings of Infamous 2, the evil ending was the one I was hoping we would go with, frankly. But then we looked at what players did at the end, and the vast majority of people decided to sacrifice him. So we wanted to honor that choice and just let him die. And I'll be honest, I was pretty glum about it. Yeah. But in the end, it worked out because it was nice. It was nice getting a new hero with a new origin story. It's a great spot to jump in. And he's a hero.
Or is he?
It's fun to work on new powers. You know, it's fun to play with them. It's fun to make them. So, I'm glad.
All right, we're going to do 2 more questions from the floor and then 1 more from Twitter. So, third last question.
Now he's got a question.
The cosplayer has a question.
Can I have the Delson ask a question?
Yeah, can we do that? Is that okay?
Do it in a Delson voice.
Who's got the microphone? Let's make it this way, please.
I can hear him.
Not sure the folks at home can. We'll have to repeat what he says.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Delson?
That is
Everything
perfect,
is good.
Delson.
Thank you.
Just saying thank you.
Good.
Yes, thank you. So my question is for all 3. Can you describe the game in 1 word?
Infamous.
All right, I got mine.
Can we use a modifier? Can we use a modifier?
Boom.
Go ahead, kid. Is that what we're on brand?
Awesome.
That's totally not a word.
Fun.
Cool. All right, we got 1 last question from the floor. Oh boy. There we go. We've got this dude.
Okay, this is for Sucker Punch. You said that you've included the gun wall from Seattle in that. How accurate is the game to the actual city with other terms of landscape?
Yeah, that is a great question. So we included a lot of landmarks, like the Space Needle, and Ken even went out and got a bunch of local businesses, and we recorded the sound of birds and trees in the morning and the night, and found local punk bands. You can hear them coming out of bars, because that's what it sounds like in Seattle. But we did that to make it feel really, really, really believable on the street. But the layout of the city, the way that the heights of the buildings is, all that is tailor-made for gameplay and Delson's powers. It's as fun as it can possibly be, but the feeling is straight up real for the town.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, I got 1 last question from Twitter to end on. This is a question for Troy.
All right.
Guyzo asks, Troy, what would Delson sound like if he was British?
A hell of a lot cooler. Really? That's the response I get? Really? I said he sounded a lot cooler is what he sounded like, is what he do.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Troy.
Thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it.
And thank you, Sucker Punch. You've been awesome.
What?
Thank you, Sucker Punch. You've been awesome.
Thank you.
And thank everybody here for their questions, and thanks to everybody at home on Twitter as well.
Woohoo! Get your hands on the game.
So,
enjoy your power.
Okay. So, for everybody watching at home, we've got 1 last part of our interview series for you to see, and then we'll head back to Dan and Holly for the end. And for everybody here, thank you. You've been brilliant. Cheers.
Thank you.
You have any idea how embarrassing it is for me to keep arresting my own brother over and over again?
Maybe you should stop arresting your brother over and over and
You
over
think this
again.
is a joke?
No, I
Is
don't.
this how you want to leave your mark on the world, huh?
So the world in Infamous Second Son is as big, if not a little bit bigger than last game. But the thing that's really distinct is that it's richer. Thanks to the hardware, every building has got so much more detail, so much more textural kind of fidelity, and so much more you can climb on and break. And that's just because we can pack it all in with the new hardware. PlayStation 4 let us do things we could not have done before. I mean, I think the most obvious is the facial motion capture. The actor's nuance kind of comes through, and you really get drawn into the story like we haven't been able to do before. So we worked really hard to make the feeling on the street as perfect as possible to be like Seattle. We would record the sounds inside of Seattle. We would record quality of light in the afternoon and the evening. And because Sucker Punch is actually located very near Seattle, we can get all that information and jam it into our engine, and it represents, you feel like you're really there.
All right, I got this whole thing figured out. We hit the town, and maybe swing by the Space Needle, always wanted to see it, and then we're back home to save some lives.
You do realize when we hit the town, there's a fair chance the town's gonna, head back?
It's not a one-to-one creation of the city. We laid out the streets and the building heights so that they would be as fun as possible for Delson's powers. I mean, gameplay comes first. Well, we certainly talked about setting the game in other locations, but we thought Seattle was actually the best choice because it's kind of gloomy and a little bit dramatic. We thought that we could really harness like dynamic weather and rain-slick streets to create a city that looks kind of awesome with next-generation hardware. I often get asked, what's my favorite power in Second Son? And I have to give this really douchey answer, which is a power we haven't told anybody about yet, and that's the truth. So when you get to the end of the game, then you will have access to my favorite power, and you can cruise around, and it's like you finally achieved this thing that you longed for, and then we give it to you, and it is great. So sorry, I can't tell you what it is, but you will learn about it on March 21st when the game comes out.
Well, that's almost it for it tonight. Big thanks to Ken and Nate from Sucker Punch, and of course my new BFF Troy, and of course to you at home for watching, putting up with our nonsense, and for all your contributions.
Yes, and don't forget that Infamous Second Son is coming out March 21st exclusively on PlayStation 4, and don't forget the game also have an amazing and exclusive collector's edition.
It does indeed.
Yes,
it's an amazing collector's edition. It is, to the best of my mind, the first collector's edition that comes in a replica of the hero's jacket. Look at that. You get your little game box in there, and then you can just unzip it and take that out and pop it into your PS4. Lovely.
Yeah, and that isn't it. Of course, you get the beanie that I am sporting here, which is obviously Delson's replica beanie, the badges that I've also had on my jacket all evening, bottle opener, and of course the Cole's Legacy DLC. So if Infamous fans want to know what happened to Cole after the end of Infamous 2, that is the DLC you need to be playing.
And what self-respecting Infamous fan wouldn't want to find that out?
Exactly. And don't forget, this is available exclusively from game.co.uk. If you want sort of the human touch, you can go in store and pre-order it as well.
If you do pre-order the collector's edition, a member of staff at Game will probably hug you with open arms. But don't forget that if you want to get a copy for free, you can try and enter the competition at game.co.uk/Infamous. And that really is it for tonight. On behalf of PlayStation UK, IGN UK, and Game, thank you very much for watching. Have a great night and a great weekend. Bye.
Peggy 16.